Hello and welcome to Awaz News. I'm Kubrali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
2 people dead after shooting at park in Keswick, YRP. Record-breaking Lotto Max jackpot tickets sold in Ontario, Quebec. Rogers Communications to buy out Bell's share of MLSE for $4.7 billion. 5 charged in connection with human trafficking ring in the Greater Toronto area. I am here for the Porsche video shows brazen car theft in Mississauga. Wanted man yelled anti-black slurs at TTC rider, then assaulted them, say police. Toronto police launch pilot to speed up transfer of care for individuals apprehended under Mental Health Act. Toronto robbery suspect allegedly assaults officer before arrest, police.
Those were the headlines, and let's jump right into the details.
2 people are dead following an early morning shooting at a park in a quiet neighborhood in Keswick, York Regional Police say. Police confirmed just before 11 a.m. that they were investigating a double homicide at Bayview Park. York Regional Police said they responded to the sounds of gunshots at the park just before 7:30 a.m. When officers arrived in the area, they located 2 adult victims in Bayview Park suffering from gunshot wounds. They were pronounced deceased at the scene, police said in a release. Images from the scene showed officers and a number of police vehicles at the entrance to the park Wednesday morning. Police set up a perimeter from Doverdale Drive to the South Bayview Avenue and the Queensway to the northwest and Fairwood Drive to the east. Police said they are looking to identify a suspect or suspects in the case, but there is no suspect information so far. Several schools in the area were placed under hold and secure order as police investigate, though the schools themselves are not part of the incident. Police are asking people to avoid the area as they investigate. They are also appealing to anyone with the information to come forward. They said next of kin have not yet been notified and there will be no further details about the victims for the time being. Two lucky people in Ontario and Quebec will split Tuesday's record-breaking $80 million Lotto Max jackpot. The Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation (OLG) announced Wednesday morning that one of the 2 winning tickets was sold in Grey County, west of Barrie, while the other was sold somewhere in Quebec. Each ticket is worth a whopping $40 million. 24 Max Millions prizes were also up for grabs last night, with 4 winning tickets sold in Ontario. Tuesday's record-breaking grand prize grew to $80 million after Friday's first ever $75 million jackpot was not won. Early this month, the OLG increased the size of its jackpot cap from $70 million. The cap has now grown by $10 million increments, 3 times since it was first introduced in 2009. The winning numbers for Tuesday's jackpot are 02, 04, 11, 16, 25, 29, and 47, bonus 34. Rogers Communication Inc. is buying out Bell's 37.5% share of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment for $4.7 billion, giving it 75% ownership of the sports conglomerate. Rogers and Bell had held equal shares of MLSE, which owns the NHL, Maple Leafs, NBA Raptor, CFL, Argonauts, MLS Toronto FC, and AHL Marlies. MLSE chairman Larry Tenenbaum, via his holding company Kilmer Sports Inc., owns a 20% stake in MLSE after selling a 5% share to OMERS, a Canadian pension fund, in the summer of 2023. Rogers, which owns Sportsnet, already owns Major League Baseball's Blue Jays and its Rogers Center home. The deal, subject to league and regulatory approvals, provides Bell with the opportunity to renew its existing MLSE broadcast and sponsorship rights long-term at fair market value. This includes access to content rights for 50% of Maple Leafs regional games and 50% of Toronto Raptors games for which MLSE controls the rights. Rogers said the purchase will not affect its debt, leverage, and financing will include private investors. Rogers also has strategic partnerships with the Vancouver Canucks, Edmonton Oilers, Calgary Flames, and NHL. When the transaction closes, Rogers will be the largest owner of the MLSE with a controlling interest in 75% of MLSE. Rogers and Bell closed a deal to acquire an ownership position in MLSE in August 2012 after announcing the purchase from Ontario Teachers Pension Plan in December 2011. In acquiring 75% equity ownership in MLSE, they formed a holding company to govern their combined ownership position. At the time, Kilmer Sports increased its 20.5% ownership stake to 25%. 5 people are facing multiple charges for their alleged participation in human trafficking ring operating in the Greater Toronto Area. Halton Regional Police allege from September 2019 to September 2024 the accused coerced, deceived, manipulated, and used physical violence and psychological harm to maintain control, direction of influence over the victims. Officers did not specify how many victims were involved. Following a 5-month joint investigation with various services across GTA, police identified 5 suspects and conducted 5 search warrants on Tuesday at various homes in Brampton and Toronto. As a result, police arrested 5 suspects and seized a large sum of cash, a loaded firearm with ammunition and prohibited magazine, a vehicle, and a victim identifying documents. The suspects range in age from 25 to 35 and come from Brampton, Mississauga, Shelburne, Ontario, and Curtis, Ontario. Prince Monroe, also known as Casino Barnes, Sabrina Letty Moniz, also known as Lady SB, and Jamie Monroe each face a litany of charges including trafficking in persons, knowingly advertising sexual services, and assault, among others. Jonathan Bennett and Shuane Mitchell face 1 count each of procuring exercise control. The charges have not been tested in court. Investigators believe there may be more victims and urge anyone who has been victimized or has information about the investigation to contact them at 905-825-4747, extension 4973, or Crime Stoppers anonymously. A video of a brazen daylight auto theft, which shows a suspect running over a victim in a stolen luxury SUV, has been released by police west of Toronto. Peel Regional Police say that at approximately 2 p.m. on September 6th, the suspect, described as 5'5" South Asian woman, arrived at the victim's residence near Winston Churchill and Eglinton Avenue. "Hello, I'm here for the Porsche," the suspect is heard saying in the video, referring to the 2022 Porsche Cayenne parked in the driveway, which was listed for sale on Auto Trader. The suspect tells the victim she is waiting for her father and is interested in taking a look at the vehicle. The video that then cuts to the driveway where the suspect can be seen in the driver's seat of the Porsche. The victim closes the passenger side door and makes his way around the hood before arriving at the driver's side door. As the vehicle turns on and moves slightly, the victim tries to get inside before making his way to the rear of the vehicle. That's when the suspect floors it and reverses the vehicle onto the street. The victim is carried along with the vehicle and appears to be run over by one of the back wheels. The suspect drove away in the stolen vehicle, police said, noting that an accomplice vehicle described as a grey SUV was also involved in the theft. Police said the victim sustained injuries, the extent of which were not disclosed by police. Investigators asked anyone with the information related to the investigation to call them at 905-453-2121, extension 1152, or Crime Stoppers anonymously. Toronto police are looking for a man who allegedly yelled anti-black slurs at a TTC subway passenger before assaulting them last week. The incident, which police say they are treating as a hate-motivated assault, happened on September 12 near Yonge Street and Bloor Street East. Toronto police said they were called to the area at 9:18 p.m. for reports of an assault. Investigators report that a passenger was traveling northbound on a TTC subway train when a man began yelling anti-black slurs towards them. The suspect then allegedly assaulted the victim before fleeing the scene. Police said that other passengers on the train pushed the emergency alarm. The suspect is described as male 30 to 40 years old. He was last seen wearing all black clothing. Anyone with the information is asked to contact police at 416-808-3500 or Crime Stoppers anonymously. Toronto Police are launching a one-year pilot program in collaboration with 3 Toronto hospital networks to expedite the transfer of care for the individuals apprehended under the Mental Health Act. The Toronto Police Service issued a news release on Wednesday saying 2 district special constables will now be stationed at hospitals within the University Health Network, Unity Health Toronto, and Humber River Health as integrated hospital officers (IHOs). The constables will assume the transfer of apprehended persons from the police officers upon their arrival at the hospitals, the service said in the news release. The program will operate in the emergency departments and will be specific to mental health apprehensions. Currently sworn police officers who apprehend someone under the Mental Health Act must remain at the hospital with the apprehended person often for several hours, the service said. The pilot will operate 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. Police will now be stationed at Humber River Health, UHN's Toronto Western Hospital, and Unity Health Toronto St. Michael's Hospital. Each hospital has allocated a designated space near the triage area for the officers. Meanwhile, Police Chief Marion Demkew said he was pleased to collaborate with Toronto Police Hospital partners. We know the community wants police officers where they are needed most, and this pilot supports our commitment to improving call response times to better serve our communities, he said. This pilot aims to return our frontline members to their core policing responsibilities faster and reduce the time it takes to transition those experiencing mental health issues to the hospital's care. A Toronto man accused of robbing 2 retail stores earlier this month allegedly assaulted a police officer before he was arrested. Toronto police said the 2 alleged robberies took place in Scarborough in the area of Kingston Road and Military Trail and Middlewell and Dean Park Roads during the early morning hours of September 7th. In both alleged incidents, police say the suspect entered the store wearing a mask to disguise his identity and pointed a handgun at the victims. The suspect then allegedly made demands for both lottery tickets and cash in the first incident. In the second incident, he exclusively demanded cash, police said. The victim in both cases but the demanded items in a bag and handed them over to the suspect, who fled the area in the vehicle. Police launched an investigation and were able to identify the suspect. On Tuesday, September 17, police said members of the hold-up squad located the suspect at an undisclosed location and attempted to place him under arrest. However, police said the suspect briefly escaped custody and assaulted an officer before being apprehended. It's unclear if the officer sustained any injuries. As a result of their investigation, Shimor Getfield, 25 of Toronto, has been charged with 2 counts of robbery with a firearm, 2 counts of disguise with intent, and 1 count each of escape, lawful custody, and assaulting police. Getfield was scheduled to appear in a Toronto courtroom for a bail hearing on Tuesday, the results of which were not released by police.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll see you back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.